Greetings and welcome to Western Recaps. Today, I will be going over a film called Young Guns. Beware, spoilers ahead. Young Guns is a 1988 American biographical Western film written and directed by Christopher Kane. Morgan Creek Productions is producing its debut feature. Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulroney, Casey Simasco, Terrence Stamp, Terry O'Quinn, Brian Keith, and Tom Cruise make brief appearances. The film is a retelling of the adventures of Billy the Kid during the Lincoln County War, which took place in New Mexico during the years 1877 to 78. It was filmed in New Mexico and surrounding areas. In the 1870s, English cattleman John Tunstall employs a troubled young gunslinger named Billy to join the Regulators, who live and work on his ranch in Lincoln County, New Mexico. Tunstall attempts to train and civilize the young man under his command and battles with rival rancher Lawrence Murphy, a well-connected Irishman working with the corrupt Santa Fe ring. And also he is a politically influential thug who has Sheriff Brady's ear. He also has a horrible Irish accent and enjoys Chinese food. McCluskey, one of the Murphy's hired laborers, joins Tunstall while Doc tries to court Murphy's ward, Yensun. Murphy's men assassinate Tunstall, prompting his lawyer friend Alexander McSween to arrange for the Regulators to be deputized and arrest warrants issued for the murders. As the Regulators strive to capture Murphy's henchmen alive, short-tempered Billy questions Dick's position as the group's foreman. Instead, Billy shoots several defenseless individuals, including McCluskey, whom he feels is still working with Murphy. Billy has a ginger temper and shoots them all dead before anybody can read them their rights. For whatever reason, this puts him at odds with the Regulators' leader, Charlie Harper, and sparks a conflict with Murphy. Newspapers portray the Regulators as a lethal group led by Billy the Kid, a larger-than-life bandit, with bounty hunters all across the West looking for them and no idea where to go. Chavez takes the others on a peyote trip. Buckshot Roberts, one of the guys on their warrants, hunts them down and a gunfight begins. Roberts locks himself in an outhouse and murders Dick, causing the others to flee and an injured Doc to go on his own way. Chavez confesses that Murphy's corruption was responsible for the murders of his mother and her Navajo clan, and he begs the others to forego their desire for killing, but Billy assumes over as their new leader. Desperate to revenge Tunstall, Doc pays a visit to Yensun before returning to the gang, and together they murder the corrupt Sheriff Brady and his men. They are met by an enraged Alex, who informs them that their badges have been removed. Despite the fact that they are now wanted men, Billy believes that their acts will draw attention to Murphy's dishonesty. Billy murders an arrogant bounty hunter as Charlie visits a brothel, and the Regulators eventually decide to flee to Old Mexico. They return, however, after Pat Garrett notifies Billy that Murphy and his men want to kill Tunstall's lawyer McSween, whereas Charlie went on to marry a local woman. The Regulators return to Lincoln, but it turns out to be a trap. In any case, Billy and the Regulators are holed up in McSween's house, surrounded by Murphy's men, bounty hunters, and the U.S. Cavalry. They're dealing with a lot of crap there, but nothing was on fire. The Regulators survive a whole day's shootout after realizing they were duped. Murphy arrives with Yen, who runs inside and is reunited with Doc. Murphy tells the men to set fire to the home, but Alex's wife escapes uninjured and Chavez flees. Locked up in the burning attic, the group tosses Alex's belongings out of the window till Billy has had his fill. He stuffs his things into a trunk and leaps out the window with the other treasures, allowing him to surprise their assailants. In the midst of the turmoil, Chavez emerges with their freed horses, and Charlie and Kinney kill each other. Steve is murdered while assisting Chavez in fleeing with Doc and Yen. Alex is shot by a Gatling rifle, and Billy escapes by striking Murphy between the eyes. Doc's epilogue explains that Chavez went to work on a farm in California, while Doc traveled east and married Yensun, Alex's widow, who rose to prominence as one of the most notable cattlewomen of all time. And Murphy's crooked ring fell apart. Billy continued to ride until he was slain by Garrett and buried next to Charlie at Fort Sumner, where the inscription "Pals" was afterward inscribed. In some areas, the film was considered more historically accurate than previous cinematic depictions of the Lincoln County War. Tunstall and Murphy's connections was very close to historical truth, as it was in Chisholm. The murder of Hill and McCluskey are likewise quite close to the historical record. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss out on interesting movie recaps from our side. Until then, cheers!